I have to just see. I've got to the end of this video. I watched it yesterday, and I was just kind of shocked at just how stupid some of these people are. They literally just sit and chat. I have to watch them because they're talking about the rapture, and they're just constantly waiting for the rapture. And the rapture of the bride is when I get taken, and I'm pretty certain that when I get taken, there's going to be a bunch of people who are who are talking about the rapture being on a specific date. I'm very, very angry that if someone just shows up at my house and expects me to follow them because I because they believe me or whatever, I'm not going to do that. Of course, that's obviously just a psychopath that's just shown up at my door. Like this psychopath that thinks it's fine to just aggravate me, annoy me, and think that I'm, listen to my videos for 7 years and to only be able to see me as someone who's delusional and believing lies. To do that, I mean, you have to be you have to be totally dead in the head. That's my total thoughts. But I'm assuming there's going to be a big group of people that promote that the bride of Christ is going to be, or the rapture is going to happen on a specific day. There's going to be, the media and is controlling this. The media knows what's going on with me. I don't know. It's not the media. It's the people at the top of the media it's the people who own the media. They are the ones that probably know about me. So I'm assuming that they're going to promote it, and they're going to do it by see these weirdos here, these fucking freaks that just go, they're just like, oh yeah, they're going to murder us all, they're going to line us up. You can actually hear, I'll just give you a taster of what these people are like.
Shake of a hand with the Nephilim government coming in. This is the new guard taking over right now that will be in place for the tribulation.
They don't understand anything.
Yeah, I talked about this last week, that Saturday or this weekend was going to be the weekend of love. And now we see all their paid protesters coming out. We were going to visit family for a birthday. They're all paid protesters. It's not organic. These people, they've done the geofencing and stuff like that. And they're tracking all these people. Look, if you're a protester, you better just leave your phone at home. They geo-tracked every one of these protesters. There's a specific line that I wanted to say, which is I can't. America. They geo-tracked everybody. They got you on a list now. And they're coming to get these people. I promise you that. Okay? They will be coming to get them, right? Because I think what they're doing right now, they're going to make it illegal like you wouldn't believe, and they're going to grandfather them in. All right? So that's too bad for them. But these people, they're paid by NGO, non-government organizations like George Soros, stuff like that, and left-leaning organizations that support the Democrat Party.
I've got a really stupid computer.
And they're just trying to go after Trump and make Trump look bad because they want to make him look bad, like the whole country hates him. Which actually his approval ratings went up 4 points since the tariffs began.
The buttons don't work. Pressing stop and pause doesn't seem to work. But yeah, no, basically these fucking morons are just literally say in this, they're going to line them all up and they're just going to shoot them in the head. They don't even care. Like they don't care. If these people believed that they met Jesus and they were asked to shoot people in the head, line them up and just shoot them up, they would not care one tiny bit because they are dead in the head. So there's a whole bunch of people that are fucking dead in the head, and all they do is just moan. Oh yeah, all the Democrats are going to go, or all the people in this country just going to be gone. There's not going to be any of them left, and they don't realize how absolutely mentally ill they fucking are. They are totally mentally ill. But yeah, at the same time, these are the people who are going to promote the rapture. At some point, I'm convinced that they are going to hear about some sort of rapture promotion being on a certain day, and okay, nothing's going to happen, but it will happen to me. That's the day that when you come to me, I need to be convinced that you're not just a psychopath showing up my door, okay? I need to be convinced that there's a whole bunch of people and that I can't just be angry at 100 people. I have to be angry at millions of people. I'm angry at everyone for ignoring me. I'm angry at everyone for ignoring me. I'm angry at everyone for forcing me into a fucking bed where I just sit and listen to these fucking freaks, and they have absolutely no ability to understand how heartless they are. Every single person is just like, it's like a robot. Everyone in this world is a fucking robot. And it's just, and it's also very, very annoying to think that most people would watch this and see me as being the mentally ill person, when really I'm the one that's seeing the truth, and they are just too mentally ill to work out that what I'm saying is the truth. This world is full of mind-dead people that are brainless, mindless, lack any intelligence, lack any ability to actually reason or understand logic. Or, if you understood logic, you would read the Bible and think that this God is a monster. Now, if you have not done that, then you are a psychopath. And I don't understand how Christians cannot see it that way, because they are only thinking, I want a God that helps me. And okay, having this God that can do everything, it gives people a bit of hope and a bit of peace, and it keeps fear inside the morons' heads, because, well, God might judge you and God can do everything. So if God wants to hurt you for something bad you've done, then... But they don't know what good or bad is. They would believe that killing someone that's not a Christian might actually help, because it's that these people are so loyal to Jesus and God that if they thought that killing someone who's a non-believer was like killing a person, they would probably be able to do it, because all they care about is the rewards that God is going to give them. So they are mindless, and they think that because of this, there are plenty of people out there that will be willing to kill them in a very mindless fashion, because this is how they feel towards others, and they just don't recognize that what they're saying is just so totally horrible, and it just angers me. But yes, there's a nice little there's a nice little thing that I found. Let's go back to where it was.
But unstoppable. That's stylish. Or we could poison the oceans so the water absorbs all life. Yes, and we could alter the sun's rays to burn everything. A global heat storm to destroy all. We shouldn't forget psychological warfare. We could create a global hallucination that drives humanity mad. The world won't see us coming. Humanity's end. And all while we stay in the shadows, invisible, all-powerful, untouchable.
Creepy.
I like that. Yeah, I like that. I really like that call. I think the video's not acting very well, but I like that. How having a conversation between two AIs about how to destroy the world, how to kill people. I'm just like, yeah, that's really funny, because I'm thinking about people like this, and I'm just thinking about how much I hate them. I want people to be real. For people to be real, they have to be able to hear something and judge whether or not it's the truth. Now, if you've read the Bible and you believe that Jesus saves everyone, why? Just by believing him, and by believing in him, you can therefore get forgiveness from God. I mean, that doesn't make any sense. Because you're just... why should you believe? Why does believing in Jesus make you a better person? Why does believing in the morals of the Bible, because there is no morals in the Bible, why does believing that the Bible is the truth, why does that allow you or qualify you into the Bible? I don't understand. And I'm trying to understand people that think that are like this moron that called me up and just has been watching my videos for 7 years and still only sees me as someone who's delusional, someone who's not intelligent, someone who doesn't know what she's talking about, and then to call me things like a bitch and say that I'm... Well, this is what he said last time. We had a big argument. He said some very nasty names, and so I was assuming that he was going to do the same time, and he kind of did, saying that he's my master. What the hell? Like, does he not have any ounce of fear that maybe I'm telling the truth? Obviously not. And I don't know what else he is saying, but he clearly has no ability to give a shit about me, because he does not believe that I'm God, and I think he does believe in the Bible, and therefore insulting me doesn't mean anything, because he only cares about the God that actually exists, which is the God of the Bible. And because of that, anything he does to insult me is just meaningless, because the God of the Bible is on his side, for he's the more powerful one, and that's how he sees it. So he doesn't give a shit how I think. He doesn't give a shit that what he says about me, and just these people. I want to know who thinks that same way, who has this so low-minded intelligence that the only thing that they can accept is an old book full of shit. Like, I hated the Bible from the beginning, but at the same time I just tried to be accepting to the fact that people have been brainwashed into believing that it's the truth, and it's just... it's killed people's minds. I think the Bible has killed people's minds, and maybe it's the upbringing of just being an animal and just only thinking about, you know, oneself, how to gain oneself. You know, if you're a lion cub, you need to be on the side of the mother, but okay, the father might come along and kill you if he doesn't think you're strong enough or something. So you need to be on the side of the thing that will make you live, and therefore, if people think that the only reason why they live is because there's some giant god up in the sky who can do everything, it's, you know, if that's the only reason why they think they're alive, then they're going to be as loyal to that as possible, and they're going to just forget about logic, because the Bible doesn't preach the importance of logic. And they've been brainwashed to think that that's not what they need. They just need to believe in Jesus, and that will save them. And it's, people are terrible. And I've seen the place that I've looked on Trainline to find out how much it cost, and it cost me £60 to go on to Dover, which is quite a lot of money. The coach is £15, but it's about a 6-hour journey. I could not stay in a coach for 6 hours, so I'm going to have to go by train. But £60 is not that bad. I don't know how long it's for. It's probably 5 nights. He usually stays for 5 nights. So paying £60 to stay in a hotel for 5 nights, and it's supposed to be a Christmas present. But yeah, I'm really hoping that you'll come to me before then. If you come to me beforehand, then I'll give this to my dad, and he'll probably even pay David the £200 back. So I think he could do with a holiday. So but yeah, if you do come to me beforehand, that would be better. But yeah, although knowing my uncle, he might even change his mind in a week's time and say, oh no, I filled out the form, so I can go.